Can you think of any stories of interest over the years?
Let me think. Positive.
I can think of some crazy stories. But
Yeah, I have some crazy stories. Yeah.
but maybe we don't talk about some of them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of stories of like, it would have been better to go on vacation for 3 or 4 months after we have a new machine. So we get a new CNC laser and it's this enormously expensive machine. And then we just can't make a good part out of it week after week after week. It's so frustrating. And I almost wish, it's like, man, I should have just been gone. But what I've seen over the 30 years I've been here is there's going to be big problems in manufacturing, but you just have to persist and keep at it. I mean, we figure it out. I'm Zachary Goff. I'm the owner of Republic Manufacturing, and I've been at the business since 1992. My grandfather, his brother, and their father started the business. They had a previous sheet metal fabrication business called Southwestern Sheet Metal in the late 40s. And then for one reason or another, in 1962, they started up Republic Manufacturing. At that time, it was known as Republic Sheet Metal and Manufacturing Company. And they did custom sheet metal fabrication. Between then and when I started in the business in 1992, I came here straight from college. My grandfather had passed away 5 or 6 years before that. And so they were just kind of keeping the business as it had been for the past 30 years or so. There's about 15 employees, no computers in the building. They did everything by hand. They would still quote jobs on paper. They'd fax the quote over to the customer. We would cut the metal out by hand with shears, and we'd drill holes by hand, and we'd weld by hand. And I realized that some of our competitors were starting to get into CNC equipment like CNC lasers. I would be up against them and I would see that their price was considerably less than ours. So we decided at that point in the early 90s that we needed to get into CNC equipment and automation. And in talking to my dad, his background was in distribution. And so he liked the idea of not only doing sheet metal fabrication, but also distributing equipment. So we found a line of vacuum pumps and we were buying that pump and reselling it. That was our first line of equipment. And then a few years later, we have our own regenerative blowers. So that's a product that we spec out overseas and it's made for us specifically. As time went on, we realized that instead of buying and reselling or distributing equipment from other people, we want to do this ourselves. And so in the late 90s, we started making our own centrifugal blower. And then as time went on, we got more sophisticated and we developed the rotary claw vacuum pump. Where sheet metal really comes in well with that is we're able to design products and accessories that go with our air moving equipment, enclosures, brackets, manifolds, all kinds of accessories. So we've really become not just a custom fabrication company, but now like a well-rounded industrial air moving equipment company. I think what drives the company also drives me. I think a lot of people at Republic really like to see progress and success, and we've seen a lot of that. We're growing quickly. I think we've doubled in the last 2 years, so the vision's changed because we can do so much more than we used to do. In the early days, we could maybe come up with the drawings of a new product, but we couldn't design a unique product from the beginning to the end. We've increased our capabilities. We have all of the machines in-house to manufacture the parts and components that go into our products. And as we've hired super qualified engineers, now we have every piece of technology to go from the design all the way to manufacturing the entire thing from beginning to end and come up with unique items that nobody else has. Then we're able to test those products and sell them. And I think that vision would have been too great 30 years ago. So I think it's evolved to where like now the sky's the limit. I don't know if there's a single event that's my fondest memory at Republic, but I just really like watching it grow. It's like watching a child grow or something. I've seen it starting out with so many problems and obstacles and growing into what it's become. It's my whole life basically.